Hi, Farah. It is lovely having you here, and it's honestly an honor to interview today. So, I'll start with a little introduction about yourself, and then I'll start with the questions. So, Faradia Yasmin is an indigenous Madurese Indonesian serving as a legislative drafter for the Secretary General for the House of Representatives of the Republic of Indonesia. As a young leader and space enthusiast, Farah has contributed to almost 100 programs, often in leadership roles. Her work focus is on the sustainability of space resources, environment, and technology utilization. As the founder and president of Farah Law School, she loves sharing lectures and opportunities in space with indigenous students. Farah is a co-chair for the 2025 Lunar Environmental Protection Working Group 1 of the Global Expert Group on Sustainable Lunar Activities, examining space law instruments, especially with the approach to the long-term sustainability. Within the SGAC, Farah performs as HR recruitment lead, research coordinator for the Near Earth Object Project Group, and the event coordinator for the Space Law and Policy Project Group. Her involvement advances to the 2025 SGAC Achieved competition as an expert and co-leading the Uninclusive Space Policy Project within the SGAC Space Safety and Sustainability Project Group. Farah was the official youth delegate of the Ministry of Youth and Sports of the Republic of Indonesia at the 2023 Global Youth Summit in South Korea. Farah received a full funding opportunity to present her thesis idea at the 2023 World Space Forum in Vienna, Austria. As the first Indonesian ascendant, Farah received a grant from the AIAA to attend and speak at the ascent as well. Farah, honestly, I'm just impressed with your introduction only.
Thank you very much. That's very
Okay, I'll just start with the questions and then if you need a break or something, just let me know.
sure. Please.
For as more nations enter the space arena, how do we realistically ensure equal participation in the lunar governance, especially for the countries that lack major space budgets but still have a legitimate stake in humanity's future beyond Earth?
I'm audible clearly then?
Sorry?
Am I audible clearly?
Yes, you are.
Okay, amazing. That's a good question. And during my student years, I proposed this concept in my undergraduate thesis, actually, focusing on the common heritage of mankind and the establishment of an international regime, both as an agreement and as an authority. And we need to revise some stipulations of the Moon Agreement, especially those related to the establishment of the international regime. And as we see the current initial language in Article 11, Paragraph 5 of the Moon Agreement, it says that to govern the exploitation of the natural resources of the moon, as such, exploitation is about to become feasible. Then all the establishment purposes could be seen in its paragraph 7 and in point B, you will find that concerning equitable sharing by all states parties in the benefits derived from those resources whereby by interest and needs of the developing countries, as well as the efforts of those countries that have contributed either directly or indirectly to the exploration of the moon, shall be given special consideration, as it says. And through the rules of this international regime that we're talking right now, we could distribute the roles of countries such as in science, like scientists or researcher as well, technology for developer, and economy for the inventor, shareholder. And so from this equal participation, each country would produce more agreements between them, giving those proportional distribution rules. And this concept has been proposed by me as well through a paper at the International Astronomical Congress 2025. Thank you.
Oh, that's really very insightful. I was just lost in all the answers in by the way. Okay, moving forward. So, most of our debris tracking and SSA capabilities have developed around the Earth, where both the urgency and the commercial market does exist. So, as lunar activities grow and the Earth based frameworks begin to extend outwards, How should we adapt these regulations and accountability norms to a region where debris monitoring and enforcement are still largely underdeveloped? And if a future lunar mission is compromised by debris created decades earlier, then what are the legal mechanisms or gaps in today's treaty landscape, and how to determine who is responsible?
About the question, instead of debris monitoring and enforcement being still largely undeveloped, I would prefer saying that it's still under development. Like we are still developing them, both theoretically and practically. The space debris accountability itself won't be far from those five UN treaties, five principles, and those five resolutions adopted by the General Assembly, and the three related documents regarding space debris mitigation guidelines, the safety framework, and the long-term sustainability guidelines. We could identify, adjust, examine, or merge those populations so we don't comment anything or everything from the scratch. We could adopt the existing instruments of space debris, such as the Inter-Agency Space Debris Coordination Committee, IADC guidelines, and the UN Space Debris Mitigation Guidelines as the technical norms of space debris in disposal, surface, and classification, and all of them mostly talk about limitations and technical aspect. And it's still doable to be implemented. And about the lunar itself, talking about the coordination also relates to the international regime, as it's also part of the use of natural resources of the moon. Well, what I understand about the moon agreement is that it stipulates the natural resources that are on or below the moon's surface. So instead of it, we could state it as a cislunar, because when we talk about cislunar, the area will be broader as it covers between the Earth and the moon, and more relevant for its uses for space debris, as our Earth is surrounded by over 1.2 million objects larger than 1 centimeter and over 550,000 objects larger than 10 centimeter, according to the European Space Agency. Then regarding responsibility and liability, we have already researched this topic in a paper again for ISC 2025, along my colleagues Laquita and Javier Maldonado, where we discussed shifting from soft law to hard law across legal, economic, environmental, and technical dimensions. So from here, we could comprehend the responsibility and liability by having a clear mechanism. Indeed, those mechanisms are the gaps that we try to answer. Back to you.
I just can't wait to read the paper now.
Thank you. Please, please.
Honestly, I never thought about this from a lunar angle. I obviously was just inclined towards the Earth-based angle, but now I've honestly learned a lot and I will read more about it because it is interesting to actually know what all is happening and what all we can even expect.
If you heard that, just let me know.
Definitely.